After playing this game again, I was so satisfied with the game, but I do have one question. Is Starkiller in the actual movie universe? I don't play a lot of modern games. I usually stop playing like regularly maybe in my high school years, but Star Wars The Force Unleashed was a game that came out when I was only 9 years old. My cousin had the game, and it was a lot of fun to watch him play. So I naturally I bought myself a copy, and I was very happy with playing the game without any of those glitches from time to time. One of the biggest problems with video games around this time is that there will be a lot of glitches and stuff, but over time it got fixed and got better. It still doesn't take away how cool this story is of a character by the name of Starkiller who was recruited by Darth Vader when he was just a kid. Basically, Darth Vader was on the lookout for other Jedi's, and Darth Vader ends up killing Starkiller's father and recruiting him as one of his own. And, we get to see him get older and basically become this soon to be Sith Lord. Um, but then Palpatine never saw the potential in him like Darth Vader did. And it became a little bit of a conflict between Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, which is something that you rarely saw. You've heard about these conflicts, but then you actually get to see it in this video game. And in the process, for the first half, Starkiller is um, part of the Sith, but then over time he leaves and basically forms a resistance in some sort. Essentially, now he's just hunting the Empire and all these stormtroopers and other Sith lords. There's definitely a lot of characters that are explored in this game, not just Starkiller, who, by the way, is a show stealer. I really do wish that they do more with this character, but then I think that is one of the biggest disadvantages of Star Wars, that when they do give you more, they tend to exploit them, and then we get tired of them. Similar to a lot of our favorite characters nowadays. But I do like Starkiller, and I do like his chemistry with Juno in this game. She does pretty good, and even Proxy, who is kind of like his mentor slash trainer. I really did enjoy that they kind of gave him that. So he wasn't just like this loner. Like they could have easily gone that route of like, oh, no one was there for me outside of Darth Vader, but then he betrayed me. Like no, there was other people around him to kind of like see him. But yeah, Starkiller turns out to be one of these most powerful um Force users, and he does a phenomenal job of like his writing was really good, and I think the story is what really saved this game. Because some of that I like that they did in fact remastered this game and gave it better graphics, but for the most part I just was a little bit disappointed that they still has a couple of bugs and glitches from time to time, but when you remove that, you have a really good game, and you get to explore and see different new characters such as Shakti, Maris Brood, Cosm, Particus. And back in the day, games were really hard to play because, man, they would put the difficulty up to a T. Even if you try to put it on easy, it was hard to even beat some of these levels, but it kind of gave you a lot of fun. Like this game is like 8 hours long, just to even finish it. We try to knock it out in one day, but I did have a lot of fun. There were some parts where I'm just like, okay, we could have wrapped this up, but that's my fault because I'm the one that tried to knock out the game in one go. It ended up taking me like a week to try to knock it out. Really, what's cool is that this is set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And for years I assumed that this was canon, and turns out that it's not. And I think that is also what helped this game experience be a little bit better, because at the end, um, the Emperor decides to recruit Starkiller and make him Lord Starkiller, and basically talks about his potential of being an even bigger threat than Darth Vader. I've never played The Force Unleashed 2. I heard it was bad. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I'll just at this point I'm just like, you know what? I'm reviewing the first game. I'm sticking to it. But if some people say it's good, like trustworthy people say it's good, then I'll give it a chance if I could ever find it. Um, in this game, Bail Organa makes an appearance, and it was actually kind of cool because he is the guy who adopts Leia at some point, but basically when he teams up with Starkiller, it essentially sets up Rebel Alliance, and even it's really cool to see Leia like, oh, we need a logo, and that was actually pretty cool, which made me kind of see like, oh, this is canon, and turned out it's not, and rightfully so, just given where the villains end up at. So I don't know. Luckily, the fact that it wasn't canon, it helps you enjoy it more. I think we live in a time now where everything has to be connected in some sort of way. That's why the multiverse was created for the MCU, and it's tiresome at some point. So it was actually good to have a game outside of what we know, but still give you those tidbits of stuff we like. But then again, I am curious where they got the name Starkiller Base um in Star Wars The Force Awakens. I hope they explore that down the road and explain why they got that name. But anyways, I am pretty satisfied with this video game. I had a lot of fun. It's an A. I think the only thing stopping it is a bunch of those glitches that I talked to you guys about in the past. But other than that, this is hands down one of Star Wars' greatest video games of all time. And for tomorrow, we are going to wrap up the prequel trilogy with Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. One of the best prequels, the best prequel, but the question is how big of a Revenge of the Sith fan I am. Stay tuned to find out tomorrow.